Guerrilla Games' GAIA Cast treated us to 2 more episodes, with a focus on the Shadow Carja, the Eclipse, as well as the Carja Civil War that takes place during the events of Horizon Zero Dawn. Each episode offers unique insights from those who have been instrumental in the series' creation, so if you haven't checked them out yet, I highly recommend it. But for now, let's launch into my personal highlights from episodes 5 and 6 of the GAIA Cast. Number 1. Symbols of Power. In episode 5, the topic of Eclipse iconography comes to light. Hooded and masked figures that are purposely imposing and intimidating that Aloy must confront in her journey through Zero Dawn. In this, we learn the inspiration for their insignia comes from 21st century tech icons indicating power buttons. Though the cult is not fully aware of the original meaning of these symbols, the function of powering up these ancient machines holds great significance to their mission and the resurrections of these shadows of Carja lore. Yet another example of the cult's ties and fanaticism with that of the ancient past. Number 2. Original Zero Dawn. During the initial stages of development, we learn from narrative director Ben McCaw that the name of the cult was originally not the Eclipse. Rather, the cult was to be named Zero Dawn. Later, as the lore of the Carja was developed, the team decided that the Eclipse would be a more fitting name for the cult, due to the importance of the sun in Carja mythology, and their eventual ties with the Carja in Shadow. Still liking the sound of Zero Dawn, the team then decided to use it as the name for the project that would eventually bring life back through the work of Gaia, as well as part of the title for the game itself. Number 3. Utaru Mercenaries. As part of the Deep Secrets of the Earth questline, where Aloy enters the throne room of Sunfall and meets Vanasha for the first time, we see a number of mercenaries gather to track down the Shadow Carja officer, Uthid. Banuk, Osram, and even Nora bounty hunters have all gathered to claim this prize, but thanks to senior quest designer of Zero Dawn, Tim Sobo, we learned that there were even supposed to be Utaru mercenaries shown here as well. Even though they were eventually cut from the scene, he explains that they were killed off-screen in this quest, rather than being removed from the story completely. This stuck out to me since from what we know about the Utaru is that they are predominantly a peaceful, non-violent culture. We did learn from the HZD comic issue 0 from the Sunhawk arc that some of the tribe are expert archers who have the ability to defend their lands, but the fact that some had gone as far as to take up mercenary life, I found particularly interesting. And number 4, the Eclipse Base. As a finished product, the quest where Aloy infiltrates the base of the Eclipse in Curse of Darkness takes place in the jungles of the Jewel. But this was a change that was made for the sake of level diversity and narrative function. The original plan was to have the base of the cult beneath Sunfall, where the ZD staging facility would later be placed, keeping the enemy factions all centered around a single location. But this would be altered to give the cult their own place of importance, both centered around the Horus that was containing Hades and strategically closer to Meridian, as reclaiming the sacred city was the main goal of the cult. All this just continuing to show how much thought and planning goes into each step of developing this amazing world. As a bonus, we were given a tease to a new character that will have ties to the Carja prison of Sunstone Rock in Forbidden West. But it seems we'll have to get our hands on the game before we can learn the whole story for ourselves. With more GAIA casts on the way, it's always exciting to see what new details and tidbits we'll find out in the next episode. And that brings our journey to an end. If you'd like to see more content like this, likes and shares are always appreciated, and consider subscribing if you're hungry for more Horizon lore. Also consider supporting the channel on Patreon, so we can keep making content just like this. Check out the link in the description. And as always, thanks for watching, and keep questing.